Record-breaking heat in the forecast and more hot highs on the way.
And with record heat and high winds, firefighters are gearing up and say they are prepared.
We are live from Los Angeles at Super Bowl 56.
Plus, charging your electric or hybrid car is about to get a lot easier.
Illegal dumpers piling up trash in the Cleveland National Forest.
And when it comes to the Winter Olympics snow in Beijing, how much is real and how much is fake? We verify.
And we're trying to find a home for this adorable one-eyed cat named Benny.
CBS 8 News, live at 6, starts now.
Unseasonably high temperatures, low humidity, and Santa Ana winds are keeping fire crews across Southern California on their toes. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan in for Carla Chiquetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. We have already seen one big scare in Laguna Beach, and we all know it only takes one spark in these kinds of conditions for a massive wildfire to break out. CBS 8's Heather Hope has more on how local firefighters are prepared and a smaller fire they faced here in Little Italy earlier today.
Right now, though, Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis in with a look at what's happening outside. Carlene?
Yeah, conditions have improved when it does come to those gusty winds. We had a high wind warning that was in play earlier today. It expired at 4 p.m. And taking a look at our sustained wind speeds, we are much calmer than we were earlier this afternoon. We have 19 miles per hour for Palomar Mountain, 11 miles per hour, and that is currently for Campo. You're looking at gusts that have come down. They were into the 40s, 50s, and even isolated spots up to 60 miles per hour across Southern California. And currently we're at 19 miles per hour for Alpine, still out of the northeast, and also looking at 16 miles per hour for Campo. One thing that is still left over, even though those wind speeds have come down, is the dry air. We're looking at low humidity values, still seeing teens out there, as well as 20s and 30s across the inland areas. Even closer towards the coast around this time, we had the marine layer having more of an influence and bringing these values a lot higher. We're not seeing that right now. 37% for Chula Vista, 42% for downtown. Now, as we go into our forecast for tomorrow, we are not looking at elevated fire weather concerns, but that's going to change as we go into the start of the weekend on Saturday, as you can see. But talking about those fire weather conditions, and we've seen these conditions keeping our firefighters on alert, CBS 8's Heather Hope is live tonight in Terra Santa.
Firefighters and agencies across San Diego County met here in Rancho Santa Fe to discuss fire evacuation routes, team training, and planning ahead of any major fire event, especially on a hot and windy day like today.
Multiple trees on fire right next to this elementary school.
Tense moments this afternoon in Little Italy when San Diego firefighters were called out to a structure fire that turned out to be several trees on fire, as shot in this cell phone video by Shane Richards.
Crazy.
Happening right next to Washington Elementary School, which self-evacuated all before a second fire broke out nearby on the freeway.
It could have been embers. We're thinking that's what it was.
Fire crews knocked down both fires with no structure damage.
Luckily, there were no injuries. The fire never impinged on the structure.
The hot and windy weather continues to keep firefighters on alert.
It's absolutely concerning, and you know, these fires can happen day or night. We saw the fire happen up in the Laguna Beach area. We sent up some aircraft to assist this morning.
That Laguna Beach brush fire scorched about 150 acres throughout the hillside area behind an upscale gated community that forced evacuations that have been lifted and schools to close as crews work to contain it.
I think this is a great example. It's February 10th. The hillsides are green, but it's windy. It's dry, and when you have those types of conditions, fire will spread.
Today, CAL FIRE joined with firefighters and law enforcement from across San Diego County to train on evacuation routes.
And we want to make sure that we're all on the same page, we're all working in sync, so that if we have a wildland fire today or any other day, we all show up on scene ready to go, and we're ready to evacuate folks at a moment's notice.
Training with this evacuation planning map book used on fire scenes.
It really helps us figure things out quickly when we have a vegetation fire. We figure out what grid we're in, we go to that specific grid, and we can start determining what areas we need to evacuate.
CAL FIRE says avoid clearing defensible space around your home during this heat wave and do what you can to stay fire prepared from inside your home. Heather Hope, CBS 8.
All right, Heather, thank you. San Diego police need your help to find the hit-and-run driver they say killed a 77-year-old man in Barrio Logan. It happened back on January 2nd at about 7 o'clock at night. Police say the elderly man was crossing the street at Logan Avenue and Sampson Street when he was hit. The driver's car, you see it here, a gray 2015 Chevrolet Malibu with a temporary Arizona license plate. We're zooming in right here, the number U511847. The driver is described as a light-skinned man, about 30 to 40 years old, but those are all the details they can get out of these surveillance images. Anyone with information about who this person may be should call Crime Stoppers or San Diego Police. The number on your screen, 888-580-8477. If you have information that leads to an arrest, you could be eligible for a reward of up to $1,000.
New COVID cases are up slightly across San Diego, but hospitalizations are going down. County health officials today reported just over 2,300 new cases. State data shows hospitalizations dropped to 868, the first time under 900 in more than a month. 159 patients are in intensive care, and 17 more deaths bring that total to 4,871. As the cleanup still continues from a month-long trash strike, Chula Vista environmental activists want the city to take a different approach toward Republic services.
That includes not going forward with a lawsuit. The strike ended last month. Activists want Chula Vista to avoid litigation and think long-term, like managing credits and compensation to people who were impacted by the strike.
San Diego County is, of course, a beautiful place, but not everyone is showing our backcountry the respect it deserves.
Look at all that trash. CBS 8's Tim Blodgett drove out to the Cleveland National Forest to follow up on a story that we first told you about last night, as he discovered those sworn to protect our natural environment are fed up.
Something stinks in the Cleveland National Forest. Illegal dumpers trashing their garbage and dangerous chemicals.
It doesn't belong out here, and it's just sad to see.
While it might be the backcountry for us,
you have wildlife that are in this area that are going to come across this. They don't know what this is.
The Cleveland National Forest is home to so many.
And this looks like one big dump site. It's everywhere.
Yesterday, we showed you several illegal dumping sites all over the Cleveland National Forest. Today, U.S. Forest Service Officer Nathan Judy took me to this huge pile of garbage dumped behind a back road deep within the forest.
Who just came out here and decided to dump? Again, why wouldn't you just go to the dump and take this there?
Everything from old tires and plastic buckets to dangerous chemicals like household cleaners and paint, which can seep into the ground and run into the watersheds.
This is a dangerous situation. We need to make sure that we clean this up, and this cleanup is going to cost what we think about $30,000 going into the dirt, picking up what we have to in the contaminants. It's just a shame.
During the cleanup, crews look for anything in the pile of garbage that can link them to whoever left the mess. If someone is caught for illegal dumping on federal lands, they can face a $5,000 fine or 6 months in jail. Ultimately, Officer Judy is fed up with people trashing the forest. The dangerous chemicals that people carelessly dump in nature poisons the land and pollutes the pristine area. He wants people to know there are easy and legal ways to get rid of your junk.
Those cleanup sites that are free, you can take electronics, chemicals, needles, and drop them off for free. So there's a way to get rid of this besides coming out to your national forest and dumping and destroying nature.
Tim Blodgett, CBS 8.
Some people living along Portside neighborhoods could be getting free air purifiers soon. The Portside Air Quality Improvement and Relief Program will give new portable air monitoring systems to some people living in Barrio Logan, Logan Heights, Sherman Heights, and National City neighborhoods. City leaders say poor air quality hits these neighborhoods especially hard because they're so close to the waterfront, the port areas, and the freeways.
Helping to provide new tools so that the Portside residents can be better protected from air pollution. Today, we're announcing that 525 households were going to benefit from $550,000 investment.
The PAIR program will start accepting applications from people living there within the Portside community starting March 1st.